Alright, good morning everybody. Alright, so let's take a look at our daily motivations. So today we're going to be talking about the glass half full perspective. Alright, your life is always going to be dependent on your view. You can either be a glass half full or a glass half empty type of person. I've never really noticed this until as I got older, but I've always been a glass half full. Even though I'm very negative at times, or I would say that I'm a realist, I just kind of look at things for what they are. Regardless if they're a bad or a good situation, I can always find the positive in it. So this is going on pretty close to a month. I normally don't get sick. Last summer I got sick and it dragged on for about 3 weeks. This summer I get sick and it's dragging on for almost a month. Things are getting worse. I've noticed I've had some brain fog issues, things like that. And I just, I chalked it up to having 300,000 concussions when I was fighting. Well, it seems like that I have an issue with a low red blood cell count that we did not discover until a couple of weeks ago. And it's a borderline anemia issue. And without boring you too much, it digs all the way down to the fact that I have some metal filling. I have one left metal filling in my mouth. So I go to a special dentist. I gotta drive 3 hours away. I have the mercury fillings removed. So I've already had that done. But I had a tooth that had a root canal when I was like, 17 years old. I really don't remember. And when I was younger, they did the metal fillings. So this tooth has maybe a cavity at some point. They put a metal filling, had a root canal, filled it with metal fillings. Maybe something else happened. I don't remember during this time. And then they capped it with the white stuff that they use nowadays. Well, if you're a hippie like me, you realize that putting metal in your mouth is not the smartest thing. Okay, you shouldn't be eating with heavy metals and things like that, typical, just like everything else we learn in life, like as we do things, we get better, we get smarter, and we move on from those things. And they don't use metal fillings anymore, at least I don't think they do, but if they do, it's cheap. That's what you opt for. So, when having a metal filling in your mouth, it can wreak all kinds of damage into your body. Now, don't go to the FDA website because they'll deny everything as usual. Even though they'll come out later and then say, oh, well, magically we don't give out metal fillings anyway, but yeah, by the way, we found out it did this, this, and this. So they do that all the time with vaccines and all kinds of other stuff. So that's just typical companies covering their ass and typical politics, governments covering them. So there's a chance that you can have a infected tooth and not have any tooth pain. And so what happens is when you have an infected tooth, you have to remember that tooth can circulate through your sinus systems. I have a sinus infection. I have a cough. I cannot shake it. Coughs do last long, but I'm still hacking up stuff, right? Stuff's still coming up. If there's a complete infection, which there is now, we know that, it's leaching down into the bloodstream. So we have an infection into the bloodstream and also have metal dripping down into the bloodstream, causing heavy metal poisoning. That metal inside my mouth can block the absorption of vitamin A. And I can't say the word. I can't remember it right now. It's rectus something. The process of the body utilizing copper and iron efficiently inside the liver. That's not happening, and this is what's causing my low-grade anemia. My feet have been cold a lot the past year or so. I just thought that I had cold feet, and it was only at night though, so that's why it never clicked inside my head. I did notice that my drive physically had been down slowly this year. But I'm so mentally headstrong that I didn't ever really notice that there was a decline. The lack of brain function, of brain fog that people will cause, is low oxygen in the blood, low blood cell count. So a lot of these things are all adding up, and it makes sense. So what's the point of the half glass, half full? Half empty, half full? Okay, so you can look at a glass and it can either be half empty to you and be negative about the situation that you don't have a full glass of water, or it can be half full and you're happy and thankful that you have half a glass of water. My surgery today, to have it specially done, is going to cost me $1,000. I could harp on the fact that I had to take off work. This is going to mess up my schedule with my family. I've got to pay $1,000. Blah, 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 blah. Instead, I look at this as, man, I have a car that works. I'm able to drive 3 hours without having to worry about a car issue. I can finally have this tooth removed. Most people see almost an instant, and when I mean instant, like within like 5 minutes or less, they feel like a complete different person. Regardless, I'm gonna have metals and an infected tooth and all this stuff removed out of my mouth. I'm very thankful for the opportunity given me. I'm thankful for the fact that I'm going to a special dentist that can remove the metal fillings in the preferred manner that I wish, because what happens is they have to grind on that tooth and that releases actually more mercury. So not only can I get sicker if they don't do it correctly, because like a regular dentist will release more mercury in your mouth. That is 100% true. Like you have to go to a biological dentist that is aware of the effects of grinding on mercury. Even the dentists themselves can get very sick. So I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to do all those things. I'm thankful for the opportunity because I know that by the end of today or even tomorrow, I will finally begin to feel better. You know, you finally get to that point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, you struggle for so many years of being the best you can on the mats. But I can always tell the guys at the end, none of the medals, none of the accolades, none of that stuff is going to matter when you're just trying to live your life with your family. And you know, the last 2 days I've been trying to go outside and throw the baseball with my kids, and I mean, I'm just zapped. And even if I have some energy, I'm just in a bad mood because my ear's throbbing, my jaw's hurting, my throat's hurting. I've been coughing for 4 weeks. I'm still blowing out, hacking up snot. You know, I jog from 10 yards out in the yard and I gotta catch my breath. Like, it's just not myself. So I am thankful for the opportunity that's been given to me, and that's what I want you to focus on. Okay, I know if you're watching this channel, it's most likely you're 99.9% in the jiu-jitsu game, and if you're getting tapped out all the time, you need to be thankful that you're getting tapped out all the time. It's always better to be at the bottom in class than to be at the top. All right, it's always better. That's another day. It's another topic. But be thankful that you have people that are pushing you. Be thankful that God gave you the opportunities in life to give you and yourself and others around you better opportunities and a good life. Okay? Listen, you could be in Ukraine right now. People forget that there's actually a war still going on. See, it's not cool anymore by the media. Could you imagine living in a fucking war zone? I'm thankful I can drive and have my tooth ripped out. If I was in Ukraine, as bad as I would feel, I wouldn't have a choice. I'd be fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. Big difference.